Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Circle of the World podcast, where we discuss Joe Abercrombie's first law series. I am one of your hosts, Lord Chamberlain Jeffrey, and here are my co-hosts,
Arch-Lector George.
And Harrison, Depth is Historical.
We continue our coverage of Sharp Ends, the next entry in Joe's catalog, and for this episode, we read through Freedom and Tough Times All Over. So, let's get started. As usual, folks, you know we have to thank you for your continued support. We love your dedication. George, talk about last week, how good of a week it was for us in terms of listens.
Yeah, like nearly 600 in space of a week, which is, it's got to be some kind of record. It's like people catching up on the older episodes, so when you get here, congratulations. You know?
I love how, for most of the lifespan of the podcast, we just said it like they were going to hear the congratulations or thank you or whatever, and we were like, wait a minute, most of those people are probably just new people or catching up, so
they're not going to hear it for quite some time. Quite some time if you're doing the normal thing of listening through all the episodes. If you're doing the psychopathic thing of going in reverse, well, then I commend you.
You're a true fan.
You were saying something, Harrison?
I was just going to say, there was one key point from the last episode I completely forgot to talk about, and it was whenever Javra was playing the game with Tunny and Forrest and Yoke. They are actually playing that game that we thought we only saw once of inside the very beginning of the series in the Blade itself, because Tunny's like, I got a son, or whatever, or he said, I got fire. And this is that weird game that we talked about at the very beginning of the series, where they were like, I'm going to play fire. And they're like, well, I have the sun. And they're like, damn. Those are the better cards. And there's no context for it.
Yeah, there's no rules. It's just an incomprehensible game.
Yeah. That's the one.
His own made-up game.
That's the one where Giselle consistently, impoverishes Brent, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Poor good.
It's just a game of pure plot armor, isn't it? It's just whatever the character who is going to win, whatever card they have is the winning card.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, thank you, Harrison, for pointing that out. You know, obviously, we appreciate your attention to detail as the Adeptus Historical here at the Circle of the World podcast. We love that. Thank you. But, you know, folks, we really do just appreciate... I got nothing. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
There he is. There he is.
Leave that in.
All right. But yeah, so we just want, folks, as usual, we just wanted to thank you for your support. Aside from Harrison being a great adeptus and pointing out that game, but we'll move on to our first segment, which is going to be our first chapter read through of the night. And this is not going to be really a read through because, folks, freedom is propaganda.
It's more of an experience
than anything.
If you read it normally, cool, that's fine. It's obviously a parody, but the real experience, and I think everyone would agree with me, is listening to Joe Abercrombie read his own work as an in-universe character who he is pretending to be, that is super meta and slightly concerning for his mental health.
Yeah, we can't. So here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna read through the chapter because, as Harrison said, this is something you just got to witness for yourself. If we try to reread it, it's just the effect's not gonna be the same. I have not listened to the chapter because I just read. But go ahead, George.
We showed you when we were in.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember
we showed you a little
we
bit.
were in Oklahoma. Right. Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, the first time I was listening to this chapter, I didn't know who was reading it, so I was just like, "Who's this guy? I don't want to listen to this. It's not Stephen Pacey," and I skipped it. And then about a year later, I realized, that was the author reading the book. I feel proper disrespectful about it, but it's funny.
And I want to ask you boys something. So in the beginning, where it's a note from the publisher, it says, "Following his death at the age of 95, this fragment was discovered." Now, are they saying that Swarbrick died at the age of 95?
Canonically, Swarbrick apparently dies at the age of 95 because he does not die in the Age of Madness.
Okay. And I like how he's widely known for his 18 volume The Life of Dab Sweet, The Grand Duchess of Villainy, and no mention whatsoever of his role in The Great Change.
or no mention of Nakoma Casca either.
Right.
I like that. I like the fact that this is all like stuffed in his boot. Just like he was so ashamed of this chapter in his life. It's just, no, actually, I'm just gonna leave this one off the
Pretend it
record.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But basically, the main thing about the whole chapter is it's a retelling of their attack on Averstock, but it's done through the lens of it basically being like Nakoma Casca and the company are like they're dashing heroes. All the lieutenants and the captains and Nakoma Casca, they're all souped up to be like these Giga Chad super warriors.
Do we have any favorite lines? George, do you have any?
I don't know. I think it's not for dialogue. It's not great, but I just love the fact, like you say, it's like everything that's wrong with all the characters. Like Dimbick has got like this bright sash,
yeah.
he's like a dashing cavalry officer.
Yeah,
Well, we
Dimbick,
know he's just
Brachio.
nuts. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Joubert later on.
I like
he's
how he calls
"We
Joubert basically a simpleton.
Yeah, well, he said, yeah, he's like Joubert. He's like someone of the Cantic faith, but somebody who set aside his like I don't know, something like his predilections for faith for the common good or something over the top.
No. Oh, so what you're thinking of was he's talking about Sufine. What about the Cantic? The setting that aside. When it comes to Joubert, he talks about because when Joubert says something along the lines of "We must protect the townsfolk,"
Yeah.
he goes, a man that is the notion of the Gurkish affinity for torture is so foreign to this man because he's such a man of mercy or whatever. And then we know from fact Joubert is not a man of mercy.
Yeah, it's like the opposite, right? He's like he defied whatever the god would want.
Yeah.
The thing I like about it too is it's meta and stuff, but the other part of it is great because like you can actually see how Swarbrick writes, right? Like he's writing for the Union audience. Everybody that's not the Union is uncivilized, and they need help from the cultured people. And Cantics, why they can be good, of course, because we're accepting we're the Union. They're definitely they have some issues. It's basically
Yeah, and of course,
Go
it
ahead.
can't be shown that a mercenary company hired by the Union can't possibly be committing atrocities. That's
Right.
just not right.
And how does he refer to the mercenary army, the company of Gracious Hand? He says like these are all basically volunteers or whatever that they took this job for. They didn't even mention about the money. They said we took it because it's the right thing to do for the Union.
Yes, it's like you said at the beginning. It's pure propaganda, and it's absolutely brilliant.
I like how he rewrites like what actually happened, like how Sufine was the one that's like, I need to go down there and warn the people of Averstock. And here's like Casca's the one that supposedly is like, we need to protect the townsfolk from those great rebels and also from the notion of us attacking that town.
Yes.
Who shall be brave enough to venture down there to ask for the surrender to feed
Yeah, and then they like even the description of Averstock can make it sound like some frontier town. No, they had to defend against ghosts.
And it's like literally 6 shacks.
Yeah, they had a strong palisade. I'm like, what? And then Nakoma Casca is framed as like this. He was one of my favorite lines from like the whole series. He's like, and even though he was nearing 60, between a good healthy regimen, he looked a spry 37. And then he goes, he did take drink, but very little. After seeing what kind of horrible things men would do under drink.
Oh man.
And of course, the ending also just caps it off at the end where, in the audiobook as well, it's Casca, Stephen Pacey is Casca that takes over, and he's like, "God damn it, Swarbrick, what is this? It's just so bland, and you're trying to make me out to be the villain in my own damn story," which is obviously so like referential.
No wonder Swarbrick was so stressed out. Each time he wrote something more propagandized, Mikomo Costco's like, not good enough. Write it all again.
Because and the crazy thing is, we know Swarbrick is like, this is embellishment to like the 20th degree, right? And Costco says, "I'm all for realism in its place, report the facts and so forth, but you can't expect to make the readers gasp with this manner of understatement." And then I like how he's also like, "Strip out any mention of that bloody notary, if you please. Expunge that treacherous bastard from the record."
And by the way,
And capitalize Captain General.
And by the way, that means that he wrote that. He probably wrote that right after Aberstock, right?
Right, yeah,
Temple
after
left.
Aberstock, but before like Crease.
Yes, but I love how Nakomo Kasuga, even though he didn't even know if he was going to see Temple again, like he was still just as much like yeah, screw that little bastard. Even though whenever he meets with him again, he's like, "Oh, Temple, my lost son."
Yeah, you know how he is. He just goes with the wind. He goes with whatever the direction takes
Yeah,
him.
he's a leaf on the water. Yeah.
Hmm. A true man after Logan's heart. But yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it. We can't really reread it because we're just not going to do it justice. So boys, reading this chapter, how do you rate it?
I would give it a 7. It's an interesting idea, but obviously it's just like a overblown version of what we've seen before. So, but just for the originality, I think 7.
7. I like that. I like it. I think I'll give it a 7 as well because it's just so hilarious. Again, folks, you know, if you're a first time reader, you just go experience this yourself. Just experience it for yourself. But it's hilarious. It's just so gregarious. I just can't even think about it right now. But especially like, again, to me, like when he's describing, even like when he describes the Inquisitor Lorson, he's a man of character and fortitude.
One of my favorite sections of the whole scene is whenever Nakomo Kasuga is doing his throwing knives, and like apparently it's like striking them, and he goes so over the top with like the gore. He's like, he struck them like he was shooting flatbow bolts, and it hit their back, and it caused their chest to burst open and splatter against the wall. Then when their head hit the wall, it splattered against the wall and covered the civilians. And it's like he's shooting them with shotguns or something. It's so stupid.
It is.
But I also gonna go 7 for me too for the same reason.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
Trifecta, boys.
Oh yeah,
look at that. Yeah, trifecta on Freedom. I think it only makes sense, right? If we'd have done all 6s, I think that would have been a little scarier. But you know, we got it done. So let's move on to our next segment, which is our meme of the week. Georgia boy, that's you. Take it away.
So it's another one of a cross post it's just from the funny subreddit, but it's a picture of Crown Prince Wilhelm of Germany inspecting the troops, and let's say he's looking a little bit dandy. I think
a little provocative.
A little provocative, yeah. He's thrown a bit of a pose there, and somebody's posted it to the House of the Meme Maker. And it's Crown Prince Ladislav pushing them back across the border. Yeah, I could imagine the uniforms in the Union being almost like that as well, especially the city hat. You know.
You know what's funny is that picture. I think I'm so sure. I think that's a Death Guard helmet or whatever. The Death Hussars or something. You know what I'm talking about, George? I think it is, and the idea of that makes it even funnier.
The Death Hussars?
Yeah. So basically, short version is Germany had this old renowned unit that was like there was Hussars, and they were around during World War
Hussars, I know.
Yeah, but Death's Head Hussars, I think they were called, and they were just super badass, you know. Nobility and all that, and they did a lot of murder.
striking a pose like that. I'd be terrified of them.
It was a different time, Jeffrey. The gays were scary back then. Maybe they saw him like, I have homophobia. Horrifying.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, that was Hummingbird Butcher as well. So
Hummingbird Butcher from the First Law Writer or House of the Meme Maker?
From House of the Meme Maker.
Love it. We love it. Well, Hummingbird Butcher, terrible name, but well, thank you for that meme. We'll jump right in to our final chapter read through, which is tough times all over. set in Sapani in the spring of 592. So, Harrison, this takes place about 5 years, right?
Yeah.
After we last saw Shevin Javre.
This is
Javre?
also the latest point in the story before we get to Age of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, which is takes place like 13 years after this, so it's a pretty
Mm-hmm.
big jump at that
Yeah.
point.
13 years. Oh, Age of Madness takes place 13 years after this. Gotcha.
Yes,
Yes.
which is pretty far. So, um, it's interesting on the note of the timeline too, because I always like to think about what everybody's kind of doing at this time to a degree, and I won't get too crazy with the cheese whiz, but the all of the like the people, the new generation inside the Age of Madness, most of them, a couple of them are like 12 to 15, so they're all going through puberty right now. Savine is obviously she's like 17 or so. She's older, quite a bit older actually. Hang on, she's born 576, so she's like 18 or something like that. But anyways, I just think it's interesting to think about like this whole thing is going on, and our heroes are merely children.
So first off, we start off with a perspective of Kharkov, who we haven't seen since she basically betrayed Javra and tricked Shevadiah to wipe her clean from Chevedia. So basically, what we see Kharkov doing here is she has stolen an item, an interesting item from I don't even know from where, to be honest with you, but she's obviously it's 5 years past then. She's not a fan of Sapani, we learn. I mean, because who likes Sapani, right?
Yeah. City of shit, city of secrets.
Shitty as shitty.
You know what it is, honestly. I'm gonna stand by that from now on.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody ever has a positive thing to say about it in the series, so
No.
makes sense.
No, no, they do not. And I wanted to ask you guys something about Kharkov here, which is very interesting. She talks about the needing to take a holiday. She needs to, I just need to take a break. She talks about potentially visiting Adjua, visiting her brother and her nieces, but obviously, apparently her sister-in-law is stuck up. Who
Mhm.
is Kharkov? Like, who's her father? Because she keeps mentioning her father, and there's this one thing in the chapter where she's like, "Oh, I'm really like her dad because of a
Mhm.
person should always stick to their principles." Now, is there any inkling of who Kharkov's father could be? Like, who do we know that is a man that has a wife that might be strict maybe, but has daughters only? At least two. Has to be at least two because she says nieces.
But they would have. That's the thing. Is it would have had? Are you suggesting it's a noble person who we know?
No, anybody. So like, who's from Adjua that we
I
might
mean,
have
the
met?
thing is that her age is the issue. Um,
Mm.
because she is now like Shvedia, she's in her 30s at least, because they're roughly the same age, and she was like 18-ish at the start of 573. Um, you know,
Okay. All
so
right.
I don't
I
know.
imagine it's nobody that we know. I don't think.
No, I think
You
it
don't
was just
think?
being
Okay.
her character.
I just like being on the lookout for any kind of like connections. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Maybe there's a connection in Age of Madness and we can't remember because we haven't read it in so long. So
maybe.
keep an eye out. I'll make sure to keep it. If I see a family of nieces, I'm like, that's them.
Up, up,
with
up.
with the father that has principles apparently. Because who has those in the First Law universe? So so Kharkov stole this item. Who did she steal it for, by the way?
I don't think she stole it. I think she's just carrying it from place to place.
Oh,
'cause
you're
she
right. You're
mentions
right.
that
She's the
a courier.
courier. She's the courier. But
But it isn't mentioned no, like who this job is for, and it specifically she says that it's better not to know anyway. Like it's all done anonymously. But we know that everyone's out for this fucking package tonight.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the
So
whole point of the story, basically.
mhm. It's Palm Brine that she was working with because Palm Brine is wearing her famous coat, her cloak that they expect deep and shallow to kind of like as a diversion, right? Apparently deep and because she mentions here those bastards deep and shallow. So she takes like a turn, like a detour. She crosses the canal in Sapani, and she's making her way back to whoever she's supposed to make it back to, because she's under orders not to look inside.
I think it's meant to just be ambiguous. I think she's just.
Yeah. You're looking for too many details, Jeffrey.
All right, man. Jesus Christ, relax, guys. So, all right, hold on. So as she, is walking through Sapani where she's got to go, she is set upon by a vagabond, a mugger of the night,
A bag of who?
a vagabond. And so apparently, because he's like he has a sword, looks like a skin, a long sword or a long steel. Sorry. I like how he goes, "Stand and deliver." She's like, "What?" He goes,
Who fucking says that?
Yeah, and she goes, "Will you not rob me? If I'm a woman?" And he goes, "Stand and deliver anyway, because I have a considerable debt to none of your business." Right? Whatever. Turns out, this guy could tell that there's like a bulge in Karkov's coat where the item is hidden, and he slashes it to open it up. He also ends up slashing her like on the ribs. So now she's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh shit, sorry."
But she immediately does the car grab, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just a poor woman. I'm gonna die." And in her head, she's like, "Maybe I can stab him in the face when he gets close to help me, because I'm a poor, helpless woman." She completely underestimates this guy, as usual. Kharkov is only out for herself. She's a fucking bitch. And I kind of wish this guy had killed her. Not gonna lie.
What, Jesus, dude.
You think she's gonna do some good in the world, Jeffrey?
No, but good lord. Anyway, so she goes like, "You're not supposed to look under it. That's under orders not to." And he goes, well, then he's like, "I'm sorry," but he takes the packet and he runs. Right? We have no idea what this thing is. At the end of this chapter, this discussion, boys, if you have like theories, please tell me. But
I like how like we don't know what it is, but like everyone has a slightly different description for it as well. Like I think Kharkov says it's just under a foot long, and then this guy gets it. It's just over a foot long. And they're all just slightly different descriptions.
That is so funny. I never noticed that, George. That is hilarious.
So yes, you're right. And then we'll see like who else describes like when this guy's name is Curtis D'Ambroya, folks.
Yes, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. You're shit. So it's him, that guy.
Yes, if you don't remember, in the first book, The Blade itself, it's that one fencing opponent of Jazal's. Yeah. So now this man is down. He's having some bad luck. He obviously is in considerable debt to somebody called the Quarryman. And he gets back to his place with the package. And who is there waiting for him? Well, none other but somebody that likes to roll some dice and goes 6 and 2, 8.
I do feel kind of bad for Curtis D'Ambroya. Like he's just trying to live his life, and things go to shit.
Well,
He's just like, he's got this shitty apartment. You know what I mean? I just feel kind of bad for him. I don't know.
I don't.
He's a bit of a piece of shit.
He is.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a good man.
Yeah, he cut Kharkov, man. The fuck? You just hate
That would
women.
just-
You
that would
just hate
make it
women.
worse. Yeah.
Maybe you just like whores. Wait a minute.
Listen, we here at the Circle of the World podcast appreciate ladies of the night. How dare you?
Yes. We are pro whore.
So apparently, Friendly is there on behalf of the Quarryman to retrieve the package, and honestly, anything else that Curtis has, because he has he owes a considerable debt to the Quarryman, to the point where Friendly even takes the sword. And Curtis is like, "This is all I have." He's like, "Just leave me something, just something." And Friendly's just like, "Why?"
I like
We
he's
know
like,
it's Friendly. He's just doing his job. He's not being like mean about it, but
Yeah,
he
he
seems
just-
like
but
the most intimidating
doesn't
person
understand.
on the planet now. Yeah.
I do like how he's like, how much more do I owe on the debt? And he's like, how much more do you think you owe on the debt? And he goes, when will it stop or whatever? He's like, when do you think it'll stop?
Yeah, and again, it sounds like he's trying to intimidate him. But we know that's just friendly being friendly.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know.
And then he
You're
switches
asking
back.
me for.
Yeah.
I like how he goes, have you any questions to which you do not know the answers?
Yes.
And Friendly is legitimately asking him. He's not trying to be a cunt, like you said. He's like, do you have any other, like, I would love to answer some other questions which I can help you. So anyway, takes the sword and takes the package. And he does note how the package is, like you said, about the foot long. It's wrapped in ancient, like, leather animals, leather skin, whatever. And it's marked by a single either letter or number that Friendly is not familiar with, right? So does this reminds me of, like, the Maker's Mark.
Yes, the single symbol seems definitely like that more than anything else
Maybe like
we've
that.
seen. But then it could be like a demonic symbol as well. It could be like we know that
Oh, okay.
Biaz has one of Glustrod's books. Maybe it's something like that, like a tome of
Mm.
ancient magic or something.
Yeah, but it's wrapped around something, and it's like cylindrical in shape.
Or it could be a scroll or something.
Yeah, maybe. Could be a scroll, right? And then Friendly gets to the quarryman's place, and it's like a tavern of sorts. Sees the two Northmen, which we know to be deep and shallow at this point. And he goes up to see Mistress Borfero, who, according to Friendly, is actually the quarryman, but is keeping up the deception of, like, she's not. She's just the quarryman's right-hand man. But Friendly's not going to, like, out her or anything. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he's like, it's fine. This is arrangement works fine with me, and I like the fact that he figures it out like instantly. He's like, yeah, I want you, but he just doesn't care.
Yeah. So he gives her the sword. He gives her the package, and she's like, fantastic, love it. And so then she takes the package. She goes down to Deep and Shallow, right? And she basically says, before she goes to Deep and Shallow, we should note that she is thankful that Friendly brought her the package, because I guess it wasn't like she sent him looking for the package. It was a general, like, keep an eye out for this kind of thing.
Yeah. I like how too she's like all paranoid. Was it Kharkov? Was it Kharkov, that damn bitch? She was always spitting all these things and trying to interplay. She's like, is Friendly working with somebody? Is it a double cross? Is it a triple cross? Is it a quadruple cross? And she goes, wait a minute, chill the fuck out. She's like, hang on, girlfriend. she's like, sometimes things are just what they are, and you got to reward your people. Friendly, you're gonna get extra money for this, but not too much money. She's actually a pretty good boss.
Yeah, she's the quarryman will want you to have a bonus, and then something else, a woman perhaps. And he's like, oh no, and she's like, ooh, a man. He's like, oh no. It's like, husk bottle something. He goes, no. She goes, there must be something. He just shrugs. She goes, what the? And then he goes, I will think. Anyway, then she goes to Deep and Shallow, and basically hands them the item. Basically, and her debt was with Valiant and Bulk. And they said that this debt has been wiped clean. Now, we don't know how legit that is, but we know that because we know, Baez, he likes to keep people under his thumb.
But I suppose that's the reason why you have people in debt, so that they feel obligated to do these favors for you.
Yeah, and also this proves that Friendly is evil, because Valen and Bulk are the antagonists of the whole series, right? They're evil, they're bad, and that means Friendly's evil and bad because he's technically working for them.
Maybe, but so then
he was working for Costco as well. I think that's bad too.
Costco's already bad.
He's been bad to the bone. Deep and Shallow's turn is pretty. It's just fun. Sorry.
Yes, they are actually very good point, Jeffrey. You leave that yawn in.
Sorry.
They are very tired. Jeffrey was imputing.
Oh my god! All right.
The characters.
Jesus
they
Christ.
were. It's weird to think that they've been doing this the whole time. Like they've been just doing these odd jobs for Valen and Bulk. Like at this point, it's been 12 years now minimum that they've been working for Valen and Bulk. Like, I mean, obviously, like I said, in the other chapters in the same book, I mean, it's steady employment. men of their skills and quality. But like they seem more irritated with each other than they did before. They are like annoyed by one another to a high degree. Like they're gonna kill one another at some point.
Oh my god, you're absolutely right. And you know what? I'm actually kind of sad that you don't see them turn up again. There's only one of them left. Like, it's just Deep turns up and he's like, "What happened to your brother?" And he's like, "I don't want to talk about it."
It is sad.
Well, so one thing I do know is that Shallow goes, okay, well, we're going the wrong way go to the bank, which I assume is the Sapani branch of Valen and Balk. But Deep is like, we're not going to the bank. We're going to toss it down a well in an old court just around the corner here. And the reason why they're going to do that is because that's how he wanted it done. And by he, they refer to him as the bald boss, as in Baez.
The Baez?
Yeah. So this is interesting. Like this item has interested me since I read this chapter.
It's old.
It's very old. It's wrapped in very old leather or animal skin, whatever the case may be. Me and George were talking about how it has that singular mark, which we think could be like the maker's mark, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
You know. And so they start arguing with each other, and in in that moment of them arguing, a very comedic occurrence occurs or happens, and a girl, like I don't know, a teenager or something, kind of is runs between them as they're facing each other arguing, and just snatches the item out of Deep's hand, and Deep's like, "Wait, what?" now, and now they're chasing after this girl, her name is Kiam, or is it Kayam? Listeners, tell me.
Kiam.
Kiam, okay. So Kiam is obviously a pickpocket, a thief in Sapani, and Deep and Shallow are chasing her down.
I'm pretty sure this is that same person who was following.
It is.
Yeah.
Friendly. Yes, because there was a moment when Friendly leaves the house of Curtis Ambroya that he notices that he picked up like a shadow, a tail, and it's a pickpocket and it's a girl. So he just kind of he opens his coat and shows her his dick. I'm sorry, shows her his weapons, and then the pickpocket goes, "Okay, I'm not messing with that anymore." You know what I mean? So
Gotta
that's
pick your
pretty much-
moment. You might as well pick Deep and Shallow, who look rather stupid and having an argument in the middle of the street. Much easier marks.
Yeah, for real. So she's running. Basically, she makes their escape. She makes her escape from Deep and Shallow by fitting through a grate and then, fitting through like a skinny like alleyway or whatnot. And so then she does this thing where she drops it into a gaping pocket of Hove, and Hove is a guy that's out playing music at either in front of an establishment or in an establishment, correct? And this is like part of some kind of convoluted like a system of thieves, right? To like make sure an item gets to its designated location. So like
quite clever as well. Like
it is.
Just drop it with somebody and then keep running. So if they chase you, then they don't get it back.
Right, exactly. So like Hove makes his way over to who does he make his way over to?
Jervy.
That's right, Jervy.
But I like this character as well, the violinist, because he's talking about how like he played for in Joseph Lustig's play. That's a nice little tie-in as well. Seems like people of the performing arts variety don't do well in the First Law universe. They all end up begging or something.
I mean, isn't that the truth in like pretty much everywhere?
That's a good point, actually.
And so that like he makes it to like a table outside where a man and a lady are dining or like having a cup of coffee or a drink or whatever, and he's letting his coat dangle near Jervy's lap. Jervy kind of just picks it out. They shoo Hove away, and Jervy kind of nonchalantly puts the packet on the floor near his feet. Somebody else goes ahead and snatches it, and that's Sifkiss. And Sifkiss is some teenage boy, very full of himself. And then he goes over to where he makes to his designated location, which is Old Green. Right? Old Green is kind of like, what would you say? not a hoarder of little pickpockets, but a ringleader,
He's
right?
like Scrooge, not Scrooge. Like what's his name? The one in fucking Oliver Twist runs all the pickpockets. That might be a bit. I don't know.
Oh, I forget.
Oh god.
I forget. We'll figure that out. But Old Green basically shoos Sifkiss away and gives the package to Fallow, and Fallow is supposed to bring this to. Now, Fallow, I immediately hate Fallow because he talks about wanting to buy and sell Kiam. It's like, ugh.
Yeah,
And
he's a
old
creep.
Green's like, I ain't doing that. So anyway, Fallow has the package now, and he has guards. They're going out down the street towards where are they going to?
You mean the ship? I think. Oh. I don't know. This chapter is very fast, isn't it? It's kind of hard to keep track.
It is.
They're going to Hurricanes, and I think Hurricane is another like thieving master or whatever the fuck.
I mean, that just
Whatever
seems
the-
like everyone in Sapani is just it's some kind of thief.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah.
stealing from
City
each
of
other constantly.
thieves. City of liars.
Yeah. So okay. So Fallow and his guards are walking down the street. They're making their way over to Hurricanes. And they talk. One of the guards is talking about like, what's the name of those kind of columns that it has in front of him? And then he goes, the pilasters. And he goes, no. Something about like the style, the architecture. He goes, rusticated. He's like, no, that's the work. No, I'm talking about the overall design, right? Whatever. Anyway, because that's gonna come up in a second. But basically, they come upon this one person blocking their way. It's a very tall person. Lo and behold, folks, it's Javra. And Javra basically is like, hand that over and I won't hurt you. And they're all like, well, you're a woman. What's wrong with you, girl? And she goes, don't make me, because I am Javra, the lioness of hopscotch. And I'm going to break your bones if you don't give me that thingy.
That thingy. That thingy right there.
So she dispatches at least 3 of these guards quickly, easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then the first guard that she dispatched of, he's kind of like frozen. I don't know. It's like it's like that the kiss of death from like if you ever saw The Man from U.N.C.L.E., where he slaps a guard and he just stays still. It's like whatever happened to that guy is happening to this guard. And this is the guard that asked about those columns. And Javra goes, they are called etheric columns. Like she was paying attention to the conversation. And she gently pushes him over so he lays on the side. The last guard just runs away. He's like, fuck this, I'm not doing this. And then I like how she takes assessment of Fallow. She goes, if you run, I will catch you in about 4 strides. And he runs. She catches him in 3.
They literally like just ran into a main character. This is the equivalent of them running into Logan Nine Fingers or Gorse. You're like, what are you gonna do?
He's like, I work for Hurricane. She's like, names work no magic on me. But he goes, we'll find you. I am no hider. I'm Javra, first of the 15. Javra, Knight Templar of the Golden Order. Javra, breaker of chains, breaker of woes, breaker of faces. I am Javra. Do you need more to remember this name? Hurts him to the point where he gives up the item. And she goes, fantastic. And then she goes, and now she goes. If you want to talk about Javra's chapter here or whatever, let me know. But basically, she makes her way to Pombrine, which, funny enough, is the guy that was accompanying Kharkov.
Yes.
But I guess,
which is part of the comedy of this whole chapter is this thing where how this thing ends up where it's going. It gets so convoluted. You're like, all right, so Kharkov is working for this person.
No, but remember, she was working with him, not for him.
I know, working with them, and then they're trying to keep it out of these people's hands. But then it gets stolen, and by happenstance lands up to this hand. But then she has a debt, so she turns it into them, to Valen and Bulk, and then Valen and Bulk gets transported. Then it gets stolen again by somebody. It's so convoluted. It's great though. It's the most Abercrombie plotline ever. Like it is great and so human.
Yeah. So she does take it back to Palm Brine, and Palm Brine, I guess, is running somewhat of a brothel of sorts or something, right?
Yeah, it seems that way. Although Java doesn't seem impressed.
Well, here's the thing. Palm Brine takes the package. She's like, "Thank you so much," and she wants half of her payment, and it's a hefty payment apparently. Half of it in flesh. So she's like, "I want that person, that guy, that guy, that." So 3 dudes and the girl. And she goes, she could get the lads warmed up. I am not paying to wank anyone off myself. Like, Jesus. Apparently,
so demean-
go ahead.
This is that moment, whenever you think of. Sorry, it's just so funny to think about. Whenever I remember George and I were talking about Tony one time, and he's like, "Yeah, remember this part where they look all like sleazy and ratty? Like, this is a big reminder that, yeah, like we like Tony just fine, but really he's kind of a sleazeball, bad guy kind of esque person." And this is the reminder of that. Javra is a lot of fun, but she just goes around fighting and fucking, like no qualms, like, oh man,
No
she cares.
worries.
Yeah, she cares about Shvedia, and she doesn't want to go to her mom or be controlled. But she's got like nothing else going on. Like,
Yeah, she's fucking and fighting.
From her mom's point of view, I mean, yeah, she probably should kill her. She's a crazy bitch.
Yeah. And so the funny thing is well, she I think there's like a, hey, you get the bandages off my tits. You would scarcely credit how tightly I had to strap this lot down to get anything done. Which is what the fuck, Jafra. Oh my lord, she's just packing it. Anyway, so then as she makes it to her way to the room with these poor souls, Palm Brine gets his servant and tells him to go to the Gurkish temple. I'm sorry, with the green marble pillars, and I feel like, is that Hurricanes? Is that where they were going with the pilasters, the columns? You know what I mean? That'd been funny if that was where it was going to go anyway. And so she goes, go over there and look for Ishri and tell her that Master Palm Brine has the item that she was looking for. So we know Ishri is in the building or in the area.
Oh, that's right. Because earlier the sorry, Friendly's boss is like, ooh, is Kharkov working for the Gurkish? Is somebody else working for the Gurkish? Because she's working for Valen and Bulk.
Right. Well, so now we know the Gurkish are involved here, because of course they are.
We know that the Gurkish have not fallen yet either.
Yeah.
Even though it's later in the story, because obviously they're still fighting, quote unquote, against bias.
Right. And Javra had mentioned being in the custody of the Prophet Kalul at some point.
Yes.
Which is like, all right. So he's excited. Palm Brine's like, yes, I got the item. This is gonna be a celebration because the money that Ishri's gonna give me, yada yada, all this stuff. He goes up to his office, sets it down on the table, turns his back, opens the cabinet, brings out a nice, bottle of something, some kind of spirit, and is ready to pop it open. Turns around, and the package is not on the desk anymore. And he's like, and the bottle pops like a bottle of champagne, like boop. And he looks up and he sees it. It's starting to get like hoisted up by a string and a hook. So he reaches for it, but it gets pulled out of his reach. And he looks up, and somebody's on a glass roof. I don't know what it is with stereo in these glass roofs, but they gotta stop.
It seems like a bad idea.
Totally bad idea.
Sapani, city of glass roofs, city of thieves.
And he's like, fuck. And he's like, guards, thief. And he's like, he gets really, really angry. And then he realizes that because like his rage turned into to horror, because he realized Ishri is going to be on her way already at this point, because he already sent the servant. So now he's like, oh God, if Ishri comes here and finds out that the package has just been stolen from him, he's probably going to be dead. So the person that stole the package from the from Palm Brine turns out to be none other than Shebediah of the South.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna keep doing it to Noah Harrison. I'm sorry, but apparently, long story short, it's Chev. She's the one that snatches the package. she makes it down the balcony. She runs past a window, and normally she just would keep running past, but she's, as in her words, she goes, "This is a sight you just can't run past because there's like 5 people. They're all naked and all engaged in some fairly athletic feats." And she realizes that the redheaded man is actually Javra. She goes, "What the fuck?" And Javra's like, "Chev?" And it's like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here?" And then Chev's like, "Wait." And then she hears like the commotion. She goes, "You never saw me." And she just keeps running.
That is so funny for so many reasons. It's great.
Yeah. And so, basically, through her subterfuge, her being the best thief in Styria at this point, she makes it back to her house, her apartment, to where none other but Kharkov is waiting there, sleeping.
Oh,
And
they're still together. How sweet.
not necessarily, actually.
What do you mean, Jeff? I was being
Well, I mean,
boy.
right? I'm sorry. So I don't know. So then, Chev goes like, "Yeah, you were right. Pombrine had it." Kharkov's like, "I knew that bastard." Do you guys want to talk a little bit about this point? Because I feel like I've just rambling. Please.
No, you're good. I'm not as familiar with this chapter.
Oh, right, because you didn't read anything.
Anything. Fuck you, man.
Sorry, George. You.
They have the same conversation that they've had every other time as well. It's just a bit sad at this point that, they keep coming back to each other even though they're clearly toxic, codependent.
Mm-hmm.
It is sad.
I have thoughts, but anyway. So yeah, basically the idea is she's got to give it to her employer, whoever her employer is, because she's a courier now. She's not a criminal.
Criminal.
But so it's interesting that she went to Chev knowing that Chev was in Sapani. She still had to pay Chev, as we see here. And I still don't know who she's working for as a courier, not as a thief, which is I don't know.
Clearly not a very good one either.
Maybe
she got out and immediately got money.
Hold on. Now I'm kind of thinking about it because at the end here she talks about how she has enough time to make it to the ship. That's what she says. In the beginning, when she was getting robbed by Curtis D'Ambroya, she mentions like her looks. I don't even have time to do this, as let alone getting to the ship to Thond.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
She has a plan to leave. Yes.
So she has a plan to leave, which is interesting. So then it's like, okay, so she was gonna go to Thond. Would it be maybe Javra's mother that hired her?
Maybe. Yeah. That's a good point.
That would make sense because that would mean that the Templars, and then they've got like Baez and Kal fighting the usual game, but for once, neither of those win, so that's nice.
Yeah, that is interesting. So,
whatever this fucking magical artifact is, the thingy, the doohickey.
Yeah,
the
and
MacGuffin?
she ends the chapter by saying, "Damn, she hated Sapani," and I do want to talk about this chapter a lot. So, boys, real quick, what's your ratings on this one?
I like it's fun. It's very fast. It's all over the place, and there's loads of references. But I just think it's just a little bit lacking. I probably reckon it's probably my least favorite of the Little People chapters, but I'm only going to give it a 3.
Wow, a 3! Holy shit! Even I wasn't going to give it that low. Go ahead, Harrison.
I agree with George for the most part. It is lacking. I think I like the idea of the chapter and how the overall chapter feels compared to the actual substance of the chapter. Like, I like the idea that that this item is going around and around. Like I said earlier, it's very human. It's very Abercrombie it's very human for this artifact to be going around and around just for it to basically end up at the same place it probably would have ended up in the first place.
Right.
And I like I like the check in. I like Sapani's vibes. I love how everything just is like more extreme. It's like in Warhammer 40K when you think it can't get worse, it just continues to be more. And that's what Sapani feels like. It's just like more thieves, more treachery, more slums and low lives. So I like all that. So, but I think overall it's not very much substance, and so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 9.
Wow, you guys are harsh. I wasn't sure of what my score was gonna be. I was stuck between 5 and 6. So I guess out of my predilection for sequence, I'm gonna go 5.
Sequential. Oh!
Yay! It's a fun chapter. It's a fun read. It's what you had mentioned, Harrison, about like how the whole plot of this little chapter. It's kind of like circular, right? In nature, it's like that's another kind of like common theme in Joe's work. Everything's like circular, right? The cycle of things, and even in a humor, just a chapter just full of nothing but humor. It's even it's there as well. I am fascinated to know more about this item because obviously I like it when Joe does do the world building. I just want him to do more of it sometimes,
Yeah.
and I just want to know what it is. Is it something we see? Is it like it can't be the seed? It can't be the seed in a package because it was in a box, if I remember, like a heavy
Yeah,
fucking
this is
box.
just wrapped up in something.
So I wonder what it is. We see Friendly still doing, let's just call it mercenary work, bodyguard work, whatever, butler work,
General skullduggery.
general skullduggery work. Kharkov and Shev, like, it's interesting that 5 years later, after Shev walks out on Kharkov, Shev is still, they're not sleeping together. Remember, Kharkov must have saw her out, was bleeding profusely from the wound. Shev must have helped bound her up, but then obviously said, I will steal this item back for you, but obviously for a price. Makes me think they're actually not like living together or anything like that.
No, they're not. They're not together. I just was being coy earlier.
You were just being silly. Gotcha. Okay. And then obviously like it's like Javra and Shev must have went their separate ways, maybe.
Well, they kind of we don't know. I think the implication is the first time they've seen each other since that event, and they're like, oh, what? But then it's a normal interaction. They're like, you never saw anything. Bye.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's interesting.
Like
Because obviously at the end of the last chapter, Javra had to go back to Thond, and that was meant to be like permanent. So the fact that Javra's back at all, at the significant story beats that we're missing here,
Yeah.
Well, actually, didn't you just have to steal a different MacGuffin?
Maybe was there another MacGuffin?
Was this a MacGuffin?
Maybe this was it. She
just
steal
5 years.
Wait a minute! No, that makes it even better. That makes it the whole thing even. I bet that is what. Maybe that's what Joe's implying. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's that artifact, right? Bias is clearly trying to get it or get it back. That's very obvious. But then think about this. She goes and gives it to the. Well, no, you're right, because she's gonna give it to the Gurkish. You're right. It can't be that. David,
right.
It would have been so funny. It would have been so funny if like Kharkov and her are both working towards the same goal, but completely ended up at 2 different locations.
But you know what? Maybe Javra is stealing it for Pombrine. You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish I knew more. I wish there was more to this. Because like as it's a funny chapter. But it's just like enough to keep me on the hook to like, can't you just expound on that some more?
Yeah,
Joe, come on.
Yeah, there's a 15% chance that we'll figure out what this MacGuffin is with it being unnamed. It'll be like one of the artifacts that Bias uses to totally fuck everybody else over by accident.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our chapter.
I think you're right though, Joe, because it's interesting that it leaves
Did you call me
so
Joe?
many questions to Jeff.
Jeff Abercrombie?
We're all constantly doing that on this show. So.
We do.
But yeah, the fact that it leaves so many questions unanswered and that you really just want to know more. And to me, like, it's kind of disappointing that nothing to do with Thond or anything pops up again for the whole Age of Madness. And it's just like, what a tease.
Yeah. Well, just some more world building, Joe. Come on. But all good. That's tough.
Joe hates fucking world building.
Yeah, he just likes the characters. That's it. Well, that's Tough Times All Over. And now we'll move on to our final segment, which is our character spot. Boys, who are we spotlighting?
Mistress Bofero. She may be the best boss in all Asteria. and all of Westport, and all of Sapani, and all of Talons, and all of Austria, and all of Euphoria, and I can't tell. She is perfect middle management. We
Hold on.
rarely see this in Joe's work.
Okay.
Middle management is a rare thing in real life, even rarer in this grim, dark reality that Joe has written. She does not get enough credit. We, as the readers, the audience, must credit her with not being a selfish prick. She's not a power tripping fool. She's just doing her thing. She's got some debt. She's gonna respect her people, but she's not stupid. She's a thinker, and I like that. I like that a lot. She's at that stage where she knows there's a whole game being played, and she knows some of the pieces. But you know what? That's not her job. She's not gonna go crazy with it. She doesn't really want more. She's just trying to make it by. I think she. That's why. But the thing is, too, to Joe's credit, I feel like I got all that in I'm not even expounding that much. I feel like that's pretty obvious. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You're cooking, Harrison. Okay.
That's all I got to say.
I think the only thing that's probably a downside is that she is extremely paranoid and might just have alcohol.
Quadruple bluff.
You're gonna kill her or something.
Yeah, quadruple bluff. Yeah, that's true.
That is crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, she's happy to reward Friendly for good work. Well earned. Well done. Feels like she needs to keep up a little subterfuge just to maintain. You know what? Which probably makes sense. I actually, that is smart, right? Don't take the mantle of the big boss. Just pretend to be the right hand man, and no one meets him.
It's like it's so obvious, isn't it? Like, how come nobody's ever seen this guy? He's apparently in there, but like he just never comes out. Like, that's the perfect ruse.
It's great. I love it.
It is a good one. It is a good one. I wonder, do we ever see Mistress Borfero again?
No, we do not. We do.
No. Oh.
It's a shame, but we don't.
Well, Mistress Borfero, you had about 5 paragraphs to make an impression, and you did. And we hardly knew ye. That's our show, everyone. We want to thank you all for listening and supporting this podcast. As you know, this is a passion project for the 3 of us, and your support means a lot to us.
Join us next week as we cover Made a Monster and a quick book review.
And make sure you follow us on all of our social media or shoot us an email at circletheworldpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast from. And please make sure to rate and review us. Thank you all again for listening.
Stand and deliver.